Psyche says the latest improvement is not broad-based, but that positive global conditions and a surge in overseas tourism lifted some sub-indices more strongly than local economic performance. Of the 14 BCI components, only energy supply, due to higher electricity costs, weighed negatively on sentiment in November. Psyche further says renewed optimism was also boosted partly by the successful hosting of the G20 summit. At the same time, concerns still persist over weak fixed investment, high public debt, and rising government wage costs, all of which limit growth capacity. Psyche's economist Richard Downing says confidence is high, but the real economy remains sluggish.
Overseas tourists to South Africa made a significant contribution to this rise in the index. While the gold and platinum prices, for instance, and share prices on the JSE also contributed to a large extent. So this was mainly caused actually by global uncertainty and economic and market sort of trends that pushed those financial sub-indices to high levels.
Earlier in the month, business confidence data from the Bureau for Economic Research and RMB Business Confidence Index also rose by 5 points to 44 index points in the fourth quarter of this year, signaling an improvement in sentiment. The survey was conducted in November, when there was positive developments in the country, including the removal of South Africa from the FATF grey list, as well as credit ratings upgrades by S&P Ratings. RMB macroeconomist Kiabetu Mojapelo says in the quarter, there was also the medium-term budget policy statement that was widely welcomed.
And if you look at the survey itself, it was conducted around the 10th and the 24th of November. If you remember, prior to that, we had a lot of good news flowing into the economy. We had lifted off the grey list, great, and you also have, an S&P upgrade. I'm sorry about that. And then you also have a much positive and well-received MTBPS. So you had a confluence of all these factors that really boded well for the economy, and we could see that being represented and highlighted in the survey itself.
While progress on structural economic reforms is expected to continue to boost sentiment, Mojapelo says if the positive sentiment persists over a prolonged period, it should help boost investments in the economy and help create jobs. Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.